No. Let's take a look at the maps, though, see where we're going to be heading, see what maps are going to be banned. Let's see which ones are removed from last week's play between these two teams.
I think that map is Clubhouse.
Well, it'll be Clubhouse and back. But yes, Clubhouse last week was popular, to say the least, in Latin America.
Yeah, it's the cool kid on the block.
Looks like we're heading to Consulate. Now, the bans for NIP, Coastline, and Oregon, not too shocking. Villa and Border for INTZ, though. I'm interested that Border got taken out second as opposed to Villa. Villa seems like a much more maneuverable map for them,
yeah,
as opposed to Border, but they let it go through in the end, risking that maybe NIP would take Consulate out of the conversation early. Consulate's still a good map for both of these teams, though. I'm not really feeling like one team is swaying towards one side with this map.
No, but you know, with NIP, I mean, if you look at last week in their Pro League plays, they ended up losing their game versus FaZe, right? It was their game on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first game that we had that day that was on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
With 2 more to follow. It's not like they played badly, but what NIP tend to do is whenever they have some sort of control over the round, you just end up seeing them squander it. And you're like, what did you do? Why did you get aggressive?
Yeah.
You had control. Just stay back. Wog wasn't performing too well, although he had some standout rounds here and there. But otherwise, Pino was shut down consistently. Julio had to put a lot on his back as well. It just looks like the entire team was not really able to get themselves together for the matchup. Obviously, it's a very important matchup against FaZe Clan. Like, this is the team that you want to knock out of the running.
Yeah.
If you want to get to the finals in Milan, right? Yeah. In the meantime, actually, we're waiting until our players are all in the lobby, but community vote.
Community vote time. What did you people think at home?
Swear to God.
Whew. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's a little lopsided, to say the least, but I'm not really shocked considering the standings positions, the resurgence of NIP like we talked about, INTZ having a little bit of a sloppier game on Bank against Pain last week.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of things that make sense here.
Yeah, to use a technical scientific term, and you have to excuse me about this jargon, I think yikes is in order. That's
yikes.
A lot. Yeah, that's a bit too much. I can see it. I can understand it. Obviously, numbers in this case do not lie.
Yeah.
But you never know. NIP kind of had their on and off games. You know, the start of this half of the season, or the first half of the season, kind of was flowing pretty well. No problem. Smooth sailing. And then, you know, they kind of start hitting the bumps. And I really hope that it doesn't continue that way, because I think this is one of the most talented lineups ever in Latin America and in the world. This is a team that has a lot of potential, as well as pretty much every single Latin American team. That's the thing. Ever since, you know, year 2, maybe you can say, okay, Team Liquid winning Atlantic City, right? Yeah. It's been a year.
It has.
It's been quite a few tournaments, including DreamHacks, where they have performed. Now, Latin America's only been the 2 DreamHacks. They went to Valencia, and they went to DreamHack Winter.
And Montreal.
And Montreal, there we go. So 3 of them. So, you know, they've been there. They played in minors. They did what they could, but it just never they could never consolidate a position. And a quarterfinals finish for only one team representing the region that's coming up with 4 on their side is kind of disappointing when you look at the rosters, when you look at the pedigree of every single one of these teams and the players, and the fact that we used to argue this quite a bit before. Oh, LATAM plays a lot on LAN. They play a whole BR6 on LAN.
Yeah, they have a lot of tournaments that are local where they have the ability to get that LAN experience before they have to head off to the 6 Invitational or a DreamHack.
Yeah, I mean, international tournaments are very important. Yeah. And it just seems like other regions are kind of getting the head away. And we thought APAC would just stay in the back for a while until they got more attention internationally. But that's not what actually happens. They're able to dig deeper into their pockets and find the strategies to deal with their opponents. I mean, Fnatic went to London to boot camp for like 3 weeks before they went to Invitational, and it shows.
Yeah.
And you look at what they're doing. Latin America, not so much. I have to say it, as someone who, on day 1 of casting Pro League event, year 2, season 1, I was the one with the Brazilian flag on my back. I'm a bit disappointed.
Biased caster.
Yeah, but, okay, some people say, oh, biased to LATAM. Some people say, oh, biased to APAC. Some people are also, oh, biased to EU. No one will say that I'm biased to NA, though.
No,
so
never.
I got that going for me, which is nice.
No one would.
2012 memes.
There's no one in the world who would ever assume you're biased towards NA. Unless it's a joke.
Although I actually love like a lot of the players and the teams in there.
Yeah.
Fox kind of. Yeah, I think we have something to talk about for Challenger League.
Oh, true.
We have a pop-up about it. There you go.
That's EU.
That's EU. But still, it's fairly relevant, right? Supremacy, M&M, Kekonakopteri. It's the old... I love the name. This is Panari's work.
Yeah.
This is the ex-Neriki squad, Extreme, Endgaming, Trust Gaming, Pact, and Vitality. Every Monday at 7 p.m. or 1900 CET. Twitch.tv Rainbow 6 UK, or _ UK, and Twitch.tv /Rainbow 6 BNL. There's so many casters that are doing this. Benelux casters, I mean, we have Hap and Poldersma from Haarlem, which is great. I love the Netherlands. Condolences to everything that has happened in Utrecht in the past couple of days, unfortunately. Love and respect and all. However, the UK casters, there's quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm. Challenge League has a lot of coverage, finally. Hey, it's good to see.
We've done our dues.
Did we do it?
We've done our dues. We've worked so hard.
Exactly. We finally did all of our time in the salt mines, and we're here.
Yeah, I mean, you were NSCL, that's true.
Yep.
All right, ready to go. So we're going to just pop into the game. I'll remind you, we're playing on Consulate.
Yeah, Consulate's an interesting one for me. We saw it on Monday for North America, where SSG played the first half on attack.
Yeah.
They're down 4-2 against Evil Geniuses, one of the best teams in the world. And they're like, yeah, screw it. We're going to go Teller's Archives, the brand new site on Consulate, off rip. We also saw that continuing over with the INTZ and Pain game last week with Bank, where Open Area and Staff Room got a majority of play. A big spike in play comparatively to the rest of normalcy on Bank, honestly. Mm-hmm. So I'm interested to see if, again, with INTZ, if we're maybe going to see some Teller's Archives, some off-site play.
And why did they do that? CUD.
Yeah.
They wanted to force the operator to some extent. Where it's like, okay, you have now done this 4 rounds in a row. Maybe it's, too much. So maybe these are lessons to be learned. But you'll see Habana, first operator to be banned here, and INTZ will remove Ying. So go on the defense, and I'm expecting Echo and Mira at some point, even though, okay, there we go. I am expecting INTZ to ban it because NIP have Julio, and he's an excellent Mira player. NIP, this is the thing. They have Julio that plays a mean Mira, and then they have a Smoke on the other side. I'm expecting Echo to be banned there at the end. And Maestro, oh!
Wow.
That's not a usual thing, but understandable. What generic caster quote number 5, or question number 5, when it comes to Rainbow Six bans. What do these two operators have in common, Flynn?
I hate you.
Well, answer me.
They both have plant denial.
What?
The plant denial.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But
what, information?
there you go. Generic answer.
I didn't want to be
7.
generic with my answer. We always talk about
Too
information.
late.
It's all we ever do is just shove it down the throats of everyone back home is, information.
It is a pretty important part of the game.
Am I psychic or am I psychic? Teller's Archives off rip. Let's go.
I'm not surprised. And
But it's from NIP, which is actually the more shocking aspect of that.
well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. After having seen Teller's Archives for quite a bit in EU play, I'm now convinced that it's actually a pretty decent site.
Oh, it's not a bad site. And it still works pretty well as kind of that shock factor for the attacking side, where you really got to kind of slow down. Unless you have just dry ran the crap out of this site attacking it, you're still going to be slow. It's not going to be as fluent. It's not going to be as easy to just pick up and run with like attacking top floor or basement.
And why? It's because the site is different. And how different? It's deceptively simple. You look at it from the outside, it's like, what, I just enter into Visa and I just vault over the window and I'm there? Okay. There's a lot of murder holes that are set. You still have to take this like pretty much any other site. You're still going to try to take from admin. You're still going to try to take from the console chambers. Mostly console chamber and from the garage. Come in from a double pinch, clear out any roamers that are playing in between them. it's understandable why NIP would be bringing, the Valkyrie in this case to get information, to Julio to help. Kamikaze actually not banning the Pulse should be pretty impressive either, but no, Pino runs out. And NIP got the first one easy peasy. Drunks, the first one to fall, and it's the IQ. It's huge when there's so much utility being ran, especially electrical utility, played by NIP, and they have a literal beat on everything INTZ are doing.
Well, one of the deficiencies of this site is that you have to cover a massive amount of real estate on the map. You have to cover all 3 floors simultaneously, which isn't as opposed to the other bomb sites, but it's exacerbated even more on this bomb site. A way to counteract having to control that much real estate, get aggressive, get in their face on the defensive side, jump out some windows just like that, and it works out for them. Pino grabs the first pick, jumping out of the meeting room balcony, and they still maintain top floor control. Looks like Pino wants to go for another one, but he's being clamped down upon from CEO. Kamikaze, though, will rip right through Yuke, and a pinch coming from Yellow Stairs and CEO now. Pino contesting, take a few shots, and he'll back off into the depths of connector.
Now, Wog is in such a great cash money position. Also has support. Kamikaze will drop. Try to play from below as well by the Archives. Obviously, the Pulse can just detect more and more. He's already done his work early on. The Capital has been eliminated. That's the first one they've been looking for. And Pino's just going to escape and get out of there, but get shot on the side from the window. But he's still alive. They can pick him up here if there's someone to support him, and Julio can give information on everything that's going on. Wog is still in the Valkyrie, and the Alibi is Psycho are just coming around. Duds will find a kill on Pino, finally take down the Legion, but it would cost 50 seconds left. Lose the Capitao, and what a C4! Just through the hole. Boar will go down, and now it's all up to Duds and Intact that have to push in. They'll take control of the diffuser as we speak. Just to open up holes to make sure they can deal with anyone from the top floor. Walk to rotate in. Julio has perfect line of sight. C4 can be chucked against here, but it's a pretty tough location to find. And well-timed, the Psycho will find a kill. The Zofia last alive. We'll find one kill on Psycho, but it's a 1v3, and he's just completely shot out. Wog with the final fire and knife. And that's NIP with a very convincing round number 1. You mentioned when you play this site. And yeah, INTZ just did not know how to deal with this.
No, they go swimming in circles and try and pick a point of ingress multiple times over, trying to attack this site, trying to find some leverage, trying to find some map control, but it was the aggressiveness of NIP and their widespread play that really threw a wrench into that for INTZ on the attacking side. They could not find one area that was not repeatedly guarded and contested, and NIP weren't playing that safe. They were playing quite aggressive, getting in everyone's face, and it seemed to be enough to be a stall factor for INTZ. Their last point of contention at that point was just bailing into the objective, which NIP had surrendered quite a lot of. There was a lot of surface area inside of the objective, both Visa and Tellers, even though you can't plant in Visa. There was a lot of map control surrendered, and it was really just Kamikaze downstairs in the Pulse covering.
Yeah.
Everyone else was on flanking routes, but again, that stall factor. INTZ just kind of the indecisiveness, they're flipping around on angles at the bottom of the Visa stairs, not really sure where to go, what to push, and that allows the time for the flanks for NIP to go all the way across the map and back and descend upon them.
Yeah, they should change the name from INTZ to INDZ for indecisive. Indecisivel or something like that. Somebody, I don't know if Jenna is watching this. Please, can you confirm if I am wrong or wrong about my pronunciation? But yeah, it's indecisive. They did not know what to do, and you saw in the way that they were split. They just, okay, well, let's corner a guy on the ground floor, but not really have any map control, so we get run out on and taken down because we're too focused on one part. They didn't play anything from the garage to attack, even though they had the buck that would have eased them in. And you saw the reinforcements from NIP that were played to make sure that garage is held for as long as possible, not allowing the buck to get that easy entry into garage. Stalled out, even though the thermite was brought. And it was kind of disconcerting how things were being set up by INTZ. And I really hope that they're able to do something about that here. But with the defense this time being on a site that is much more common, it should make a lot more sense, though Pino's black eye cameras are cash money in that position, and there's just nothing being done by the IQ to deal with this.
No, Drunks is currently on the opposite side of the map in Narnia, but the admin push coming through for INTZ will Again, initialize. Oh, here comes a run out here from Pino. He's going to go all the way to the backside behind the half wall. He'll be detected. Give up on that a little premature.
Run, Forrest, run!
But he was already detected, and everyone on the roof could have...
There's literally not a single bullet fire.
No, and there's no one even remotely in range. Pino reading that quite well, honestly. With all the information he has at his disposal, he has his black eye cameras to see there's no one B windows, there's no one bottom yellow, there are no claymores, everyone spawned admin side. It's a minute and a half in the round. Psycho is going to start things off onto Intact with the Nitro Cell. There goes your buck, and a little bit of damage done onto Duds as well. So stalling out that admin push once again, and actually it looks like Psycho was downstairs inside of Archives when he acquired that first pick, and he got it all the way up to the Secretary desk floorboards.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this push. It's just coming out the staircase instead of having the control through admin. You'll see Kamikaze running out again, and is just trying to pose as big a threat as possible. And I believe this was impacted by the defense. You saw the impact grenade hole on the ground. Wog, what a shot! Drunks is immediately taken away. Pino. He might have been removed from play, but man, Wog just kind of sniped him outside of the map. Yoke with the refrag. Finally, the ARX 200 doing so much damage. We saw that last week. We'll continue to see that for the entirety of this season. Might be 20 rounds, Flynn, but I think packs a punch.
Well, Yuke establishing himself on that A-bomb balcony. You can see the peel-back nature of NIP right now, and they have the luxury to do this. Duds will be cut down from the top of Spiral Stairs as a prone Psycho will remove his head for him, leaving just Bora and Yuke left alone. Bora inside of the secretary desk, and Yuke trying to drop a plant down inside of Meeting Room. Bora will take down Psycho on a flank, but Julio and Kamikaze tag in for 2. INTZ fall in tandem, and it's NIP up 2.
That was excellent. There's still the yokai alive in the back. They had everything that was required, the NIP that is, so they could have gotten on the yokai with their echo. It was already being watched, so they kind of just knew where the last two are and decided to engage instead of playing for time. Both are pretty effective. So, are they actually going to stick the cut now? They're going to play in Cafeteria Garage. It would make sense if you want to play a lot more Turtle. And one thing on a highlight from NIP is on their attack also, but specifically, as you can see it here on the defense, is that they play in the archives and the servers themselves quite a bit. And this might be something for other teams that are watching this to think about it. Hey, if we're going to play NIP, might as well just take the pulse away on this specific map, of course.
Big sacrifice there is you're also allowing through the Mira, which you talked about. Also, not a good thing to allow through against NIP with Julio. It seems like right now there's just a lot of opportunities on the defensive side to have massive impacts with Nitro Cells and advanced information across the map, whether it's with a cardiac sensor from about 12 meters away, or whether it's with Valkyrie cameras, or Echo drones, or Evil Eyes. There's a lot of info to be had.
And now the hatches are going to be even more difficult to deal with. There's no Thatcher being brought. The IQ can basically do nothing in this situation against the Cloud Electro Claws. The Ortilas that are going to be deployed on the hatches, specifically the one in Bathroom, is going to be pretty tough to deal with. You know, there's a lot of locations as well where you can play safely in the back as an Echo or Maestro, but Maestro obviously is banned here. But there's a lot of vaulting positions where you create tiny angles for you to play against entries in the garage. And if NIP play their roam right, which is something they've been doing pretty effectively, it's going to be pretty darn tricky to deal with them. Pino have been setting up on the top floor, also something that NIP does quite a bit on maps like Oregon. If you want to visit the, if you're a fan of the school of roaming around on maps, I highly recommend NIP when it comes to LATAM.
Well, drones abound, top floor, trying to isolate and locate Pino as there's a bit of a pinch coming in from multiple angles, but he has his hatch open to drop main lobby, and no one covering that drop now. He'll get droned out and bail immediately. No investment upstairs now, but it's Psycho cutting down Psycho down to about 21 HP. At the top of the Visa stairs now, it seems like Psycho was just flexing his abilities with that 416 on the top of Spiral Stairs and immediately took a dissension down to regroup with his teammates, as I imagine it'll be Pino on that mute, still trying to hold out Bathroom, try and stall out for a little bit longer and maintain that map control, and Drunks allowed to maneuver his way into Visa and take an angle in towards the most common rotate at the back of White Van.
Yeah, there's not much utility that has been expended by NIP to play that top floor. It's just, it took INTZ a while to get as much manpower as possible in to push their opponents away. Pino now peels off. This is a perfect onion strategy. And there you go. C4 intact taken away. Sure, it's maybe a bit too much for you to lose at that point, and they didn't reinforce the hatch in bathroom. All right, so just kind of keep using it as a rotation position. So I wonder whether they're actually running the Cloud Electro Claws from Kamikaze. I'm kind of intrigued. Unfortunately, we can't actually see that, which is, as I said, unfortunate.
Well, looks like Boar's going to head outside of front lobby to recover the diffuser, as Psycho will also drop down the bathroom hatch, leaving Wog alone. There's a pinch coming out, a log jam inside of the Z hallway, as Yuke has also taken almost 80 damage to his person, as that utility, those smokes and those asphyxiating bolts will be crucial for a site execute, especially one where they cannot get the garage wall open. There's not a lot of progress towards the garage wall at all from INTZ. Kamikaze holding it down from the base of Yellow Stairs, and it looks like NIP are going to start walking into a bear trap. A lot of kills come flying out now, but it leaves NIP again in the man advantage. One shot from outside as the garage wall is finally opened up. Going to push down Yellow Stairs coming from Drunks. Flashbangs rain in, but it'll be Boar taking the majority of damage, but will finally finish off Kamikaze. Pino pinching close at pipes. More flashbangs rain in will have no effect, and a great shot there from Pino. What a flick, and it's all Boar alone. Shotgun in hand, in behind the black car. Evades 2 shots now, but there's no time left. Beautiful patience game from NIP. Julio still has the yokais. More shotguns right now. Pino emptying the mag into Boar, and one will finally connect, wrapping up the round, and NIP 3 straight.
That was just ring around the rosy 101. There's a yokai that was watching it. There's a shotgun in your face. You're not going to win that. It's just poor execution, because you look at INTZ, they actually took control of the top floor pretty effectively. It took them a minute-ish to get it done, and then just kind of squandered their lead by being stopped by Wog in the bathroom, right? The Jaeger kept moving around. They lost a player to the C4 in console chamber. These small things, when you get picked off one by one as well, it doesn't help your case when you're starting to push downstairs in the garage. And you saw they didn't have much time when they were able to finally push onto the site come the end of the round. But we're going to go back to Teller's archives, and I am personally not surprised. This site is starting to grow on me. I really have to say that.
Well, I remember a beautiful example of it. I believe it was the first time Liquid and Mocket played each other in the group stage, where Liquid also ran this site. And it was a 2v5 for them to work out of against Mocket, and they pulled it off with ease. I can't remember who Nesk was with, but Nesk was involved in the clutch, and it seems like Latin America currently just has a much stronger fundamental understanding of how to stall out the time on the rest of the roam game to make sure that there's basically no time and no utility to convert a site execute into tellers.
And that's why you say that for this specific site, but I will say and reiterate that for every single site, pretty much in every single map.
Yeah.
This is something that teams like Liquid, like NIP, like FaZe are extremely efficient at. There's a reason why they're some of the best teams in the world, right? But they just do it like nobody else does. There's something very special about that, how it's done. And what is still surprising, there you go. It's still surprising how the IQ is just, Boat is bringing the IQ time and time again, just not really doing too much with it to snipe off those cameras. But I do hear the suppressor being shot in the back, so more often than not, it's something I want to touch on. IQs will bring the P12 suppressed, just because it's a bit more difficult to kind of hear where things are being shot and where they're shooting it from. It's the advantage. It's still the P12. You're not going to use it efficiently, or you're not going to use it consistently to fire into people.
No, and at that point, if you're whipping out a pistol when you already have the 5.52, something's gone horribly wrong. And speaking of going horribly wrong, a Nitro Cell in Tuds down to 5 HP, but not before he was able to take down Pino. Bor will be immediately traded out, so there goes that IQ, basically having zero effect, and that's the diffuser surrender to the base of Yellow Stairs. No one else in range for INTZ. Wog will cut down Tuds. It was a good start for INTZ, but now it's all falling by the wayside.
That is pretty much the worst thing that can happen to you. You've lost 2 players. Sure, you've killed the Legion, which is great. But now the diffuser's on the floor right in front of everybody from NIP. They can just... The yokai is just going to guard the... Oh my god. The yokai is going to guard the site, and you can just bring the pulse to the other side. You don't even have to worry about anything. The Capitao is scanning around Nitro Cells in hands of Kamikaze as well, if he would like to use it. And Julio still keeping tabs. They're just running around the site trying to find an angle, but they can't get anything. Oh man. They're not even pinging him. They just don't want to. They're like, oh, don't waste anything. Keep him in stock. Keep him where he is. Intact, in the meantime, is going to play from the top floor, hits the go mine, alerts his opponents to his position, but NIP are already watching the downstairs. They're already, as you see, in those archives with the servers, and there's just still nothing being found. Oh, man.
Initial plan attempt coming out from Intact, immediately stalled by the Yokai Blast. And the Yokai will get EMP. That's a good play there from Intact as the plant is still going down and no Nitro Cells coming out. INTZ will finally get their first plant off in round number 4, but they play the post plant at a man disadvantage, and now it's all falling apart once again. Psycho with another victim in the round. Drunks will fall. Intact still trying to battle out of the phone booth of an objective. He's stuck inside. Whipping around to the rotate hole, the Visa stairs, as 3 members of NIP all stack at the base. Ooh, just spotting the hands for a momentary time, but unable to pull the trigger, and laying prone is Yuk as he's last alive. His teammate has fallen, and he will be cut down as well. It's a good retake there from NIP, as there was really no surviving that mess of a cluster inside of Visa and Tellers for INTZ. They got the plant down. That was all they could really accomplish.
One thing, if we go to replays, and I'm sure this will be part of some sort of replays at the end, I really want to check if the Capitao had any utility left there at the end. Because if he did have smokes or asphyxiating bolts, oh man, that's a scalding. You should definitely not have those available at that point in time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what things lay in store for us. But so far, it's only NIP at the helm, and I don't know if this is only going to be like a side-dependent thing. But you play the defense, you play the offsite, and you can kind of just play around INTZ. It's not something that helps you too much.
Well, Boar trying to find some grounding on any operator at this point. He's played the carousel now. He was Thermite for a moment there. Went over to IQ and had essentially no success, and now he's over to the Twitch now in a 6-pick after initially flexing to Jackal. It'll be INTZ once again, bringing no hard breachers, as it's a top floor attack. So one of the most peculiar things about that for me for INTZ is that they've been stacking admin takes every single round, regardless of if the objective is top floor or not. It's been an admin clear, and the admin clears also just have not been successful in dispelling the roam and actually claiming any casualties from it. It's always been NIP chip away a little bit of damage, they don't get the first kill, but then they fall back and the Nitro Cells come raining out, almost like an EXG style play.
Yeah.
So the roam clear right now for INTZ is struggling quite a bit, and then the admin take without a hard breacher, you're not going to be able to pressure the backside of anyone inside of a meeting. Curious decision, but I wonder if they're going to try and alter this and go for a B Windows take at this point, considering the lack of success they've had on the far side of the map.
Well, Pino's still checking on his black eyes again. He's been having pretty good success with those, though no run out so far in this round. And just playing the back of the stairs. This is something that you can kind of, I don't know, grind into a pattern, the way that they play this. So, see, maybe INTZ actually have a way of finding it. I like the fact they're bringing the Nomad. It's a good way of trying to deal with your opponents. I have to say, combo that with Dokkaebi, that might be something to look into. A Jackal. This is also an operator that will help you deal with your opponent's roam. You know, these are available. The options are out there for you, and they decide to go more frag heavy and do away with the IQ because they realize that Boar hasn't really been able to do much with him. At least put him on the Twitch in that situation.
Yeah, it seems like there's a considerable lack of countermeasures being brought from INTZ in strict opposition to the roam game or the aggression that NIP are bringing. Pino's going to hop on a cam right in front of a window sill, spot a member of INTZ directly in front. He can't vault this window. Yuk will take down Kamikaze off screen, and there goes your Jaeger. Pushing up Yellow, though, and Cycle will cut him down from the Z hallway at the base of Spiral. So Drunks will evacuate his position over outside the Piano windows, although Piano getting ever so close to acquiring this next kill for NIP. You also got to look at the clock here. Time management, the diffuser on Ash for Duds is also a questionable decision, but the smokes come raining out, and it looks like INTZ are going for a site execute. Oh, Psycho rushes in, but he can't land the crucial shots to drop Duds. Duds will take down Psycho, and Nitro Cell rings Errant. It will not connect, and Duds just floundering inside the objective. Can't find a safe plant spot. Finally, Pino downstairs will take down Drunk, so it's a retake scenario as Pino will fall. Julio in a 1v3. The Yokai is momentarily stalling out the plant attempts up against that reinforced connector wall. There's not a lot to be done here as his rotate is cut off from the top of Yellow Stairs now. There's a rotate into Bathroom as well. Hopping back on the Yokai, but he's got no more Sonic Blast left. The plant will be completed. He's got 2 on his left and 1 on his right. No, a big swing there from Duds, and it'll connect on the jaws. Julio, INTZ will bring 1 back. They momentarily stop the bleeding, but it seems like it's not going to be enough at this rate.
No, and they did it because they actually used their utility. Oddly enough, again, I am no expert, but it seems like when you bring operators that bring a lot of utility to the table, including crossbow bolts that can kind of, burn people, asphyxiate them, and also block line of sight, that maybe you should put them to use every now and then. And apparently that was correct. So my assumption, for once, as an analyst, I guess, is correct. Maybe you should do more of that.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you very much. I've been working so hard on trying to understand the basics of the game. Everybody tells me, like, hey, you have to play Ashe all the time. Monty is terrible. Oh, Blitz, haha. And then Fuse kills the hostage. I'm like, how do these people call themselves pros? They don't even play hostage. They only play 1 game mode. How is this considered professional play? We're secure area. Huh? Pro League. Ha!
I think you're on the wrong subreddit.
Look,
I'm just saying, if that's what you're reading every day, you might be on the wrong subreddit.
My friend, you would be surprised.
You are correct. I have seen other things on Reddit. I've seen a lot on Reddit. A lot.
Yes. Unfortunately, I went on the internet and I found this. It's definitely not something we're going to talk about right now.
Oh, so I'd like to keep my job, considering I just got it.
Oh no! Pino, he gets a free kill on Drunksy. They all just drop in. Boar's trying to find something with a switch drone, but they just drop in. Kamikaze finds 1 and 2. Both Intact and Yuck have been taken away with barely any HP off of the Pulse and INTZ. They open the hatch, done so slow and execute. Where's the drones? They're all so far away. Oh no!
My biggest thing with that is you're squandering what little momentum you had coming off your first round win. You lose 4 in a row. You play structured, you bait out the aggression from NIP, you acquire the picks and get a plant down again, and you hold off the retake. And then your response is to just send it Visa? You're going to lose all your momentum.
Don't worry, he got a Yokai.
Well, I mean, you do have an you have an Ashe left. I was going to say you have an Ashe and a Twitch, but Bor will be disseminated by that Nitro Cell coming from down below, so it's all Duds alone. And here comes the second Yokai. Will he get it? He will. So both Yokais expended from Julio just to acquire the information on Duds. And a great flick there from 1, but can't land the second one. Kamikaze with a great round there. I believe that was 4 on the round for him, if not an ace. I think 4. NIP in the driver's seat right now.
Oh, definitely. That's... NIP take the wheel. They're running with it. I mean, you look at it and you're like, are you surprised that NIP are playing like that? No, they should be playing like this all the time. This is the NIP that we love and know, or know and love. You can say, hey, I prefer knowing them more than loving them. Depends on where you put your priorities. But still, INTZ have a mountain to climb. I really hope they know what they're doing here. The Pulse is going to be brought up by Board, who, if you look at his performance so far in the match, has been kind of lacking on the technical operators. Playing the IQ, now the Pulse, I really hope that he's more comfortable on that and playing it. Now they'll go for a standard site downstairs in the garage and cafeteria. They'll bring the Mute, they'll bring the Rook and the Doc. You look at this, it's like, are we playing in year 1? You wouldn't be too mistaken for thinking that.
No, there's been some changes to the operators over the years, but...
Yeah, mainly the Mute in this situation.
The Doc alteration as well. Impact grenades coming out. There's been some significant changes. But a 5-1 lead right now for NIP, and it's a tricky situation here for INTZ because they had a strong bounce back round in round number 5, And then that last attacking round, it seemed so antithetical to what the last 4 rounds and last 5 rounds were all about. It was about playing measured and structured and trying to pick apart one piece at a time of the NIP game. And yes, you weren't successful in those first 4 rounds, but finally, you take enough cracks at it. You're looking pretty good on clearing out roam, baiting out the aggression, using your utility finally, and converting and holding a post plant. And then it all just kind of falls apart in that rush. And if you walk out of a half down 4-2, we've seen plenty of comebacks from 4-2s. I just talked about the SSG-EG game on this map on Monday. They won 7-5.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, that's 2 days ago.
2 days ago. And
actually.
Now you're down 5-1, and that's much more of a death sentence these days.
No. It's very unfortunate. I mean, adding the 2 extra rounds definitely helped a lot of teams, bringing things back and tying or getting victories 7-5s that have been out there compared to the old, 6-4 games that we've had. But still, it's a bit of a shame when you see kind of the half going for 5-1. And you're like, I really hope that this is the start of something. And not too well. So for INTZ, Psycho will land the first kill, and Yuk taking down a 70-ish% HP. There's at least one player roaming around on the top floor, but NIP are just kind of not caring about it. There's 2 players up here, Duds and Mute. They have to actually run back down, but there's nobody holding stairs. Duds, can he actually find anything off of this? The first player was just killed off of a peak. Oh no, the debris blocking it. These are client-sided, so we're not really sure if he can see it or not. But if he dives out, oh, this can do so much. Dutch is just ready for this. He wants the information, but nobody's giving anything. He fires into the Nomad, but no! Psycho turns around and one-taps him. Dutch exiting. If I'm you, I alt F4 at that point. Kamikaze going in for the plant. He'll get stopped and spotted for just an instant, but Julio to find the frag off of the Nomad. That's all he needed with the air blast. Yuk and Boar, last 2 alive. Yuk will find one on a Pino. 45 seconds on the clock. Quite a bit to play with, as both last 2 ops are looking around for a kill, and the car, at least for now, dies down.
Put this round in a body bag. There's not much left to be done here. Oh, a lot of whiff shots there from Yuka as well. The SMG-11 at range, not your best friend. Shotgun point blank. Boar will take down 1, but Psycho, that pocket sniper, will drop Yuka. It's a 20 HP Boar left alive against 3 members, and Psycho continuing the dominance of the round. Ninjas in Pyjamas will secure themselves at least 1 point, and it's trending towards the direction of all 3 in just a moment's time.
Yeah, and that's not a great place to be in. Obviously, NIP being at 3rd place right now, winning this game gives them 17 points. It gives them a lot of rounds to work with as well in the case of a tie later on, which will put them at #1 in the league so far in Latin America. Immortals and Team Liquid, tying last week does not help their case now, because this is what NIP were kind of hoping for. If they had beaten FaZe last week, things would have been very different. But NIP kind of running away with it. NIP playing Immortals next week. Liquid plays FaZe Clan. I have to say, that top 4 in LATAM is heating up. If you're a fan of Brazilian Pro League, these are literally like the best 2 weeks that you should really be, well, actually, best 3 weeks that you should be looking into, including last week, because these are all the heavy hitters. And if someone messes up, ties, loses, oh man, this is crunch time. This is do or die from line.
Well, the big thing with having 6 teams in it right now in Latin America is there's no longer a week where it'll be, there's no interesting games, there's no heavy games. Every week now should have this. It's currently the Yuk and Dud show right now, as INTZ slowly drowning. Boar trying to chip in a little bit there, but you've got a lack of, conversion of success really at the bottom of the board there for INTZ. That's kind of been the storyline of the game.
Yeah, it's a very technical way of putting it.
Poor performance would probably be a more layman's way of putting it.
I think Boar performance is in...
That's...
Look, man, you laid it out there. I had to take it.
That physically hurts me. That hurts me at my core.
There's nothing in there. There's nothing there but just empty cries at all the spawn peaks we've had so far in ranked. I've been watching you and Zeronic playing, okay? I know what's been going on.
Jumping back into the round. It's a top 4 defense here from Ninjas in Pyjamas. Not a lot really here for INTZ. Or sorry, top 4 defense from INTZ. Ninjas in Pyjamas slow going here. Not really coalescing in one specific direction or another. It seems like they want to attempt a split push. Seems like main focus right now will be the CEO windows, as there's no real presence towards the admin side, but no one really coalescing on the A balcony yet. It's slow progress here for NIP, but I imagine the smokes coming in from WOG will be massive for a site execute.
Pino's also playing from below at the buck. They kind of, INTZ in this case, have given up on the bottom floor. Obviously, they have control of things. They have control of important positions like the yellow stairs, which is pretty important in this situation when there's no admin push coming out. But you really... Oh, no, the grenade, everything used into intact. Oh, man, that was...
I could just see all the silhouettes amassing around that window. I saw Pino cooking the nade and WOG at the top. I'm like, ah, yeah, it's over.
It's over. And actually,
intact.
Now the double reinforcement in the bathroom against the wall will really hinder you. You can fight the windows into admin, or into console in this case, which is pretty good. But Julia's already in. He gets shot from the side. Yuk using the tiny angles that he has to deal with things. Bor has a nitro cell in hand, though. Yuk will find another one on the WOG. A great round so far for INTZ, but there's so much time left for NIP. I have to blame Nip for just kind of coming in and go for the plant without really doing things correctly and using their utility to thin out their opponents.
NIP jumping the gun a little bit there. Bor will get caught out by an air jab, but he still wins out the engagement against Psycho. A little bit of revenge for last time. Yuk will also be overhealed and air jabbed outside of the A balcony, just clearing that utility out. It's down to Kamikaze and Pino, and repelling into admin now with no diffuser in hand, surrendered inside of CEO. 30 seconds left, and Pino's taking shots to the floorboards. It's not looking good right now for NIP to clutch this out in a 7-1 fashion, although, oh, wow, Kamikaze, okay. Unable to land a lethal shot onto Yuk. Apparently a lot of those shots hitting a hard surface and not transferring through. So it leaves Pino the last man standing and through the bottom of the wooden barricade. It's just an onslaught of bullets. There's no real where to go. Suffocating from the pressure of INTZ, and Pino won't even collect a fruitless kill in the process. It'll be INTZ weathering the storm and at least bringing one back in their court. Again, still trending towards an INTZ loss here. You can't discount the possibility of them running this back, however slim that possibility is. That's
very true. That's very true. And I have to say that the thermite shot into connector was kind of like, what? But
there were
also,
a couple of those.
Yeah, but the air jabs were the thing that really like put me aside. I mean, you can say it knocked me over on my back because I don't know if it was a spectator thing, but it's like they had no effect. They bounced the pulse. Was it the pulse? Yeah, they bounced them just back, but he was still able to shoot back. I don't know if it was just delayed or something. So I'm genuinely unsure.
6-pick over to a Rook on the side of INTZ as they look to defend the lobby. Unsuccessful downstairs. They went upstairs, so no Teller's Archives coming up from INTZ. And they were actually the team I isolated in the pregame, saying maybe they'd take a shot at it.
Yeah.
At this point, not really a whole lot to lose, but they're going to stay a little more traditional. They don't want to repeat their loss downstairs. They head to lobby. Obviously, when you don't have the Maestro, the ability to kind of stall out that smoke plant at the front door is inhibited quite a lot. But you're also not bringing an Echo on the side of INTZ. You still invest in the utility that is ACOGs.
Yeah.
But you don't bring the Yokais to try and stall out plant. You still have 2 Nitro Cells, and it worked out fairly decently for INTZ last round, where it was just the pressure of having those vertical Nitro Cells in play was enough to distract NIP, and they tried to go in and force a plant early and catch INTZ off guard. But I think for a lobby smoke plant here, you're in dangerous territory. There's no ADSs to catch out the smoke grenades that WOG has. It's also with the air jabs from Psycho. This is looking like a lobby plant with some smoke cover and no real way to stop it for INTZ.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you plant here, you pretty much have the game if you're in it. So especially if they have Nomad alive at the end. And this is usually what happens when you're playing on this. Pino will find first kill on a Drunks, and Intact is spotted as well through the drone, a second one as well to confirm his location, and a third one as well just to be sure. He'll snipe out 3 drones in quick succession. Calls come out from the Dokkaebi. Take some damage from the grenade, but will find the kill on Kamikaze. Well done, a second grenade, but not enough to finish off Intact. He'll get shot down by Psycho. Already in the lot. What is going on? You gave him everything. Boar is going to try to find the angle, and you can already hear all the air jabs being set up as we speak, the call being used. If they know the pulse is behind the white van, though, will Wog be able to deal with him? No! Boar will find the headshot. Julia with a refrag, though, onto Duds. 3v2. 2 Nitro Cell available here for INTZ. They definitely have a way to deal with this without overexposing themselves, but Yook will have to rotate down and possibly put himself in the line of fire. Look at that, there's a minute 24 on the clock. Flame, that's so much! Buckle trying to run away, and Yook will find the headshot. Pino taken out of play. Where is it? The air jab is spotted, and an easy kill for Psycho. Diffuser's gonna get taken. And Boar will rotate in. Piano. Oh, there we go. That's the perfect angle. If Julia whiffs this. No?
She got on a drone.
That's what they need. He's spotted. They know exactly where he's at. He has to run away from it. The Pulse can't even throw the C4. He's so far away. Diffuser, an easy plant for Psycho. No air jab left, but it's not like he needs it at this point. He can just play back. And you put UMP against ARX 200, the ARX will win 99% of the time. Boar will drop through the hatch, try to play this, but he gets shot so low on HP with a pre-fire. Psycho's ready. And there you go, the Nomad will win it out. NIP with a very swift victory. They can go back to sleep in their pajamas at the end of the match. 7-2.
Pretty dominating performance there for NIP. A rough look there for INTZ after last week. Obviously, there were some things to buff up on the edges for INTZ after their game with Pain on Bank last week. That one's a tough one, though, for INTZ. It seems like they kind of they lost focus after those first couple rounds came out on the side of NIP.
Yeah.
It was a lot closer in the first few rounds than it was in the latter few rounds.